There was a clear, tangible sense that we were doing something new, something exciting, and that we were both partners in that. I think as the module progressed, we started to realise that something really interesting was starting to happen. I don't know if you felt that as well?
Yeah, I mean, you were very open from day one about referring to us as guinea pigs, and how,
in the nicest possible way.
Yeah, and how all of our blog posts, all of our kind of contributions, seminar discussions, what have you, were really kind of taken note of more so than usual.
You were producing data, you were producing material, you were showing that this was a methodology that worked. And I think that's where the teaching research synergies really started to come from. This, of course, is Charles Booth's famous descriptive map of London poverty from 1889. I think we're down, yes, we're down here. And we were wondering about whether the character of the city was the same or different and how it had changed and whether it had changed. One of the great things about the module was using texts and images and walks from the past and actually trying to recreate them. The module was created with two ideas in mind. Firstly, it was to find a way to explore these ideas about using walking as a methodology for historical research, but also then as a way of getting students out into London, getting them doing primary research, actually looking at places. That's where some of these research teaching synergies started to come from. I can freely admit that I'd never done that with a group of students before. I'd never created an exercise like that before. It was up to you to decide where we went, how we went there.
How much this area has changed was really, really fascinating to see, especially for people who hadn't walked this way before.
Yeah. Goldsmiths got a very good reputation for being quite unique and out there, but history also has its, outside of Goldsmiths, has its own reputation as being quite stuck down, and this just took it a step further, I think, in a completely new sensory direction, I think.
It helped me to kind of think about new ideas, but using kind of history as a way to support that.
You get into a routine sometimes with teaching where you kind of know what's going to happen in a seminar. What was really exciting about walking through London's history was that on a week-by-week basis, you didn't always know exactly where the seminars were going to go. That was partly because the research was very new. The completely individual selection process that every student went through randomised the research in a way that I couldn't possibly have done even if I tried to. Firstly, I was trying to understand whether this works as a methodology or not, whether walking works as a methodology. And by seeing the different ways that students had approached it, I could see what did and didn't work, what was good, what has been very experimental but didn't work.
I think a lot of students hadn't ever considered walking as like a way to research history, is when you could see so many people changing the way that they thought about walking.
If you're doing something new, if you're doing something unusual, you need to be honest with the students, you need to involve them in that process. The students that I worked with came with me physically on the walks, but they also came with me ideologically and theoretically, and they bought into the module. We were able to do so much more than we could have done in our separate constituent parts.